he actually had on his show this guy Eric Zane. So I look up Eric Zane on YouTube. This guy, I guess, used to be a disc jockey or something. He got fired probably for being. Anyway, he did his live shows 2/22/24, which was what today. 58 minutes long. He has 10 views. Show from 2/21/24, 23 views. 2/19/24, 18 views. 2/16/24, 24 views. These are Kevin Dabrowski numbers. Thursday.
You're listening.
Yeah, like all the time I'm listening.
WATV with Christian, Eric, and Carl sometimes.
Listen in your office, in your car, or even your neighborhood bar.
We're doing it. We're doing it. We're having fun. We're making it happen.
It's fun time.
Open your mouth, close your eyes. We're going to give you a big surprise.
And here it is.
All right. Welcome to Who Are These Broadcasters? That was a professional intro and then a rookie move at the beginning. Everything was tight. Everything was firing on all cylinders, wasn't it? I'm Christian Bladt. That's Eric Zane. How are you today, EZ?
Well, you know, I'm relieved because that fuck up was not my fault. So at first I thought it was me. Me.
There is
Because-
history where it
yes.
made me think it was you too. And Kirby McKillen is absolutely right calling me stuttering Christian. And John Henn's like, oh, another two-parter today. No. This is why I don't usually hit the mute on my microphone, because I don't remember to unmute it. I usually use the one on the screen. And oh, well, hey, we're here. We're so excited to be here at an early time. Everything's coming up Millhouse right now.
Oh,
Eric,
I love it when that happens, by the way. I mean, to me, that's always, whenever those moments take place, I mean, it seems like the worst thing in the world. You feel like you want to throw yourself off a cliff, but you know, whatever. What can you do? It's just one of those things.
What kind of actual intro could I have done that would have been more entertaining than that? The answer is none.
It's bought us a fun icebreaker amount of time, I guess. We've broken the ice on this show once again. So congratulations.
I've never been prouder. Eric, if there was ever a show that deserved super chats, it's this one. Why don't you tell people how the super chats work on this show?
Well, my fine friend, it's real simple. If you want Christian to sign off with something ridiculous, maybe talk about him touching kids or how he loves the Third Reich, or whatever. It doesn't matter. Or
start a Fourth Reich. I'm up for it. Whatever.
Yes, you can somehow be as creative as you want to. You might have to get by some of the censors here on the old platform.
Yeah,
it's sometimes tricky what you write. So just keep that in mind. You might have to get a little creative with how you do that. But the highest dollar amount, that will be Christian Bladt's sign off. And then we're going to use all these things, these terrible things he says, and hold them against him. Try to cancel him. I think he's got a couple of treatments written out right now. He's trying to get back into Hollywood. We can end that. We can end that quickly.
Yeah. Look, if I don't know if any of the truly talented members of the WATP and WATB audience are so inclined, you could really cut together a honey of a reel of me saying terrible things. And who knows? Maybe something will happen this week. And the Turks are on Eric's tail, according to Principled Uncertainty.
It's a wonderful comment, considering the fact that Armenians are better than all Turks. So thank you. Thank you very much, Principled.
All right. Well, we've had enough fun. Let's bring the mood down by starting off in politics.
A lot of people talking about Christian and Karl's segment, making it great with Who Are These Politics?
So the State of the Union address happened on Thursday. And, if we were doing this show the next day, there might be a different approach. We might have pulled a bunch of semi-funny but mostly painful clips where Biden gets so close to making a good point where you start to think, and then he just, he trips over his own tongue, and then, we'd chuckle, but we wouldn't really laugh really hard. Since I don't want to speak for you, but I'm a bit of a catty bitch. So I want to focus on the gossip surrounding the State of the Union address. And this is largely a visual moment, but there's one interaction from the State of the Union itself I want to focus on. And that is the big reveal when President Biden saw Marjorie Taylor Greene. Again, this is one of those moments when a meme has been born. There he is, walking down there.
Look over here.
He sees her decked out like she's, I don't know, like she's going to an under-8 soccer game at 8 a.m. She's got the hat on. She's got the T-shirt. And if ever there was a thumbnail for this show, it's that look on Biden's face. And go ahead. Your thoughts, Eric.
The beauty of that is it's like he's looking at his granddaughter who just got a star on her forehead or something like that. I think that reaction is fantastic. The reaction is such that it makes me think that they could actually have a playful conversation. Now, she probably told him to go fuck himself right after that because she's that bold about it. I mean, she doesn't give a shit.
No.
This is all great. This is what I'm here for, Christian. This is why we live in the golden age of great content, because we have Trump is back. This is fucking fantastic between these two. Strap yourselves in, boys. This is going to be a hell of a ride.
Yeah. And, I was thinking about this earlier today that I'd like to somehow be able to step into a parallel universe because I want to see the reaction of the supporters of both of these guys when their guy loses. I think Trump winning is endlessly entertaining, and some would say better for the country. That's for some to say. But I need to see videos of both of them just freaking out when the other guy. I need that.
Exactly. I am here for it all. I mean, you can. I just feel like I'm in a perfect world right now where either way, we've got a goddamn show to watch. Son of a bitch.
Absolutely. There's a couple of images of Marjorie Taylor Greene in the stands during the State of the Union. And the reason I have this is not because of how ridiculous she looks. It's just the level of discomfort for the two Democrats on either side of her who are just like, oh, man. And, she's whooping it up, as they say, Eric.
I don't understand how the seating arrangement worked that she was with Democrats.
Well, the lady on the right on our screen, she's a Democrat from Wisconsin. I heard an interview with her. She got there late, and one of her colleagues was like, "Don't worry, I've got the perfect seat for you," and stuck her next to Marjorie Taylor Greene. And I'm like, I really wish she would say who that was, because I would buy 1,000 votes for whoever that was. Whoever wanted to create this chaos of just having this this little old black lady just sit there.
Yeah, she looks so sweet and kind too. Just the whole dynamic of, hey, don't worry, I know you're late. I have a seat for you. And then the reaction by this lady must have been just priceless.
Right, exactly. Well, let's see the actual interaction. Is the one clip from the State of the Union itself I feel like we need to share.
I'd be a winner. Not really.
So that's not even the moment that I wanted. I wanted what happens right after this, but it's
right.
Kind of perfect for what everything was. What he says right there at the beginning, Eric.
Yes, which is just nonsense.
I'd be a winner. Not really.
I'd be a winner, not. Oh, thank God someone's talking. Not really. Yes. The lady in the red hat. What do you have to say?
Oh.
So I don't know. I think some people, the talking heads, would say there should be some level of decorum, whoever the president is. But I love the shouting.
No. This has been this has been a regular thing for quite some time since the time, I think it was Obama. And then the guy said, "You lie." He screamed it out.
Right, exactly.
Since that day, this has turned into a chirp fest. Thank Christ.
I'm going to treat us in a couple weeks. I'm going to find some good clips from the House of Commons in the UK where all they do is yell at each other and try and shout down the prime minister. Now that's what I call entertainment.
Yeah, we need that. We need it might have been one of the Middle Eastern countries, might have been Iran, where the fights break out and they hit each other with shoes and shit.
All right. You know what? I'm jotting that down because I know the one you're talking about. And
it's golden.
I feel like before the show is over, Robo Shitstain Mark 9000 is going to have those posted on the Discord.
Oh, yeah.
But I will definitely seek them out. All right, that's a
high bar. That's where we want to be. We got to get there.
That's the show's sweet spot. If you don't know what this show is, it's that. Politicians fighting with each other. So let's hear the crazy lady try to shout down the crazier, seniler old man.
Not really.
Huh? Who's that? Oh, wait. Yeah, they told
Lincoln Riley, an innocent young woman who was killed by an illegal. That's right. But how many of thousands of people being killed by illegals? To her parents, I say, my heart goes out to you, having lost children myself.
So,
no.
All right.
No.
A little bit to talk about there. First of all, I don't know about you, Eric, but my social media is filled with people for whom apparently the name Lakin is very common and easy to remember. Yeah. Here's the thing. I would give him the pass for saying Lincoln because that's probably what he heard. And, look, I think that the smart thing to do would be, in the heat of the moment, I mispronounced her name. I'm so sorry. That's so tragic. And I know that he went and did some apologizing the next day, Biden did. So I'm sure he's going to be apologizing for getting the name wrong. Let's take a look
of surprise on your face when you walked into the chamber and you saw Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene. It was priceless. You feigned shock at seeing her. But during your response to her heckling of you, you used the word illegal when talking about the man who allegedly killed Laken Riley.
An undocumented person. And I shouldn't have used illegal. It's undocumented. And look.
Oh, wait.
Here's the deal.
I'm sorry. That's what he apologized for? I must have labeled my clips wrong because it would have made the most sense if he had apologized for the tragedy of this woman who got killed. There's another chance for him. I assume that later in that interaction, he must have made up for it.
You regret using that word.
Yes.
Oh, no, that was the end of the interview. Okay, so no. And by the way, I don't know who this guy is, but I like his style because he's like, that was so funny, bro. I mean, you had her, dead to rights. You made fun of her. You were clowning her on TV. Hey, so why did you say illegal? I'm like,
I know
you motherfucker.
It's so bad. And then he gets
son of a bitch.
the idea that Biden gets the name, the fact that it's almost like when Marjorie Taylor Greene brought that up, it's like he's like, oh, I've got the antidote. I've got the kryptonite to your heckle. I'm going to hold up whatever this is.
Yeah, I don't know what
that
is.
And then it just, all of that was icky. That was just bad. And I don't have a right way of how he should have handled it, but that was very sloppy.
Oh, yeah, boy. I mean, it was. I'd say that isn't the worst way, but it's like in the bottom 5 of bad ways. So
it would have been more effective if he said, "Okay, he killed her, but there's a lot of people he did not kill. We need to look at glass half full. Let's move on."
Think about all the people he didn't kill that day. Okay, we'll be right back. All right, State of the Union. We can move on from the union itself. There's one person who I know the world was so eager to hear what the reaction was to the State of the Union. Eric, you were wondering.
What the hell does that mean that Joe Biden looked like he had energy last night? The question is, can you rely on him to do that for 4 years, starting next year?
Oh, no.
That's the question. He gives a speech for an hour and 10 minutes or so on a weeknight in March of 2024, and suddenly that warrants 4 more years for a dude that's going to turn 82 years of age in November and is expected to give 4 more years after that.
What I love about Stephen A. Smith, and we have not always seen eye to eye on him, that he has that one gear. That's his level of outrage when the Knicks aren't playing defense. That's his level of outrage when somebody didn't receive enough in free agency, and also when the president's too old. It's like that's what he's got.
He runs out of toilet paper, and that's how he gets his wife's attention.
That's how it's gonna be. That's how it's gonna be. I'm gonna shit into my own hand. I don't know his wife's name, or I would have said it, but
that is. I didn't realize that is he one of these people like Rappaport who was a Democrat and now is not because he's so old?
Look, I think that when you get into a certain income bracket, all of a sudden your priorities shift a little bit. And he's been talking a lot about how he's looking for that next big payday. Whoever's going to give it. So
gotcha.
I think he's thinking about like, how do I keep more of my money? And that's not from ESPN. That is from his podcast. But when I saw that clip, I thought it was so funny. But all right, you guys sat through that. Here's what you really wanted to see. I know it.
To bring us together. Remember, he said, I'm going to bring the country together. I'm going to bring it together. No.
Holy shit. That is, I watched him on a couple of speaking engagements at PAX and Super PAX, whatever the fuck
Yeah,
they are.
sure. Yeah, CPAC is the big one that he did. Yeah,
He's funny. I don't give a fuck if I hate him or love him. That does not matter. His impressions of Biden and the names he comes up with, they kill. He's funny. Sorry, but I laugh every time he does that. Every time he does that.
I mean, it's great because it's what you want him to say, and he delivers. And that's again in the sweet spot for this show. So when it comes to Biden, I'm kind of losing the narrative a little bit because we're always told that he's Sleepy Joe. Basically, Grandpa Joe from Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, the lazy bastard who never gets out of bed for 20 years, but then his grandson gets a golden ticket. He's like, oh, no, I'll come with you. It's fine.
Sure.
So that's who we're supposed to think Biden is. But to listen to Jesse Waters talk about it, you'd think that, I don't know, I can't follow the story.
She was late. That was the biggest insult. Because people are tired at 9 o'clock, and he didn't show up speak until about 9:25, and he's not the bride. It's like when he shows up, that's not like when the wedding starts. Like everybody's waiting for you to get there. I thought that was the most disrespectful part of the whole night.
I mean, I guess. Remember the part where he said the dead lady's name wrong? That was fairly disrespectful.
Yes. There's plenty of disrespectful things on this.
Yeah,
I think that the media in general is trying to dig too deep. Okay, quit trying to outdo yourselves. All right, let Biden do the heavy lifting. Let Trump do the heavy lifting. This is easy. Okay, take a page from Christian and Eric. We know how to present for these two assholes.
Yeah. As soon as I turn my mic on, I know how to present. Up until then, it's 50-50. But at that moment,
great.
I
hope that becomes a cringe of the week on Who Are These Podcasts.
Well, if it doesn't, it will be on this show. It's hard though. It's hard because it's completely visual.
Yeah, it's silent. And
although, because you don't talk either, right? See, if you're talking like, "Hey, that's all I can hear you," that would have made it a good cringe. So.
I think I did speak, but I have my setup where I can only hear you. That's what I prefer. But so the audience will have to, maybe they could hear me. I think I was going, can't hear you.
I'm sure it'll be on our Discord before the end of the show, which by the way, there is obviously our Who Are These Broadcasters has its own section on the Who Are These Podcasts Discord page.
Of course.
So,
it's the only
we
thing
get a lot of great clips suggested on there, and we appreciate it. So before we continue, I have to ask, I don't know, maybe this doesn't happen to you as much as it ever did to me, but did you ever get pressured into having to watch a friend perform on stage, like in a play? Maybe they were acting. This happened to me a little bit more in college when I was a single man. It was usually a girl that I was like, well, if I go to a play, I can probably fuck her because everybody on stage is, going to not be interested.
Sure.
Sex with a lady.
I get it. I see what you're saying.
Yeah. Is that something you ever had to do? Did you ever have to sit through someone's play?
Yes, and it's all been very small time affairs, local community theater type of deal. Yes, absolutely.
Well, I feel like every time I've done that, I've seen something that, it reminds me of this.
Never could have imagined what my story would entail. To think about what the American dream can do across just one generation, in just one lifetime. It's truly breathtaking. But right now, the American dream has turned into a nightmare for so many families. The true, unvarnished state of our union begins and ends with this. Our families are hurting.
No.
And scene.
Wow. That is, that's rough. That's really bad.
She takes the pregnant pause. She has our families are hurting.
She's doing all the eye movements, the big sighs, and she reminds me. You ever have anybody in your family who becomes a born again Christian?
Yes.
Okay.
Quite a few actually.
So what they do then is they think like they got a lot of catching up to do.
Yeah.
And so like I'm a Catholic, and so whatever. And they come up to me and so like, hey, so I was thinking about you. I was praying for you the other day, and I think the Holy Spirit came down through me and wants me to touch you now. And they like put their hand on my forehead, and I'm like way annoyed. I'm like, fuck this shit. I'm already on the New York Yankees. Get the fuck out of here. I don't need this.
It's there's that moment when especially if something bad has happened, you're at a funeral or something. Yeah. Can I pray with you? And I'm like, I don't want you to, but I'm going to have to say yes because it's a bigger deal if I say no.
Yeah. You should just say that and say, I'm going to say yes only because it's a bigger deal if I say no. Go ahead.
I am going to file that away. I hope there's a tragedy where I can bust that out sometime soon. So after her triumphant rebuttal to the State of the Union, that is Alabama Senator Katie Britt, she did do a little bit of a media tour. And here she is trying to focus on some of the important problems with President Biden on Fox and Friends.
When I had gone to the grocery store and actually picked up my children from school, I thought he doesn't get this. He's not sitting in these carpool lines. He's not checking out the grocery store, seeing the prices go up. He's not pumping gas and seeing that go through the roof. So he just doesn't understand what real families are dealing with.
You know who does understand what it's like to pump gas and understand what it's like to pick up the kids and what real families are doing? Donald J. Trump. That's the guy. Yes. That's the average Joe working man. That's Don Six-Pack. That's the guy. By the way, everything she said is true. Of course, Biden hasn't done any of that stuff, even before he was vice president. But at the same time, it's like, okay, yeah, but in his life, has Donald Trump ever pumped gas even once? He was born rich.
In the event, and it's very likely that it could happen, that Trump does win this next election, we better see those goddamn gas prices like the next day drop down to about $1.25 a gallon. Because if that happens, I am going to be voting for him forever, no matter what. If he endorses the goddamn potato, I'm going to vote for the potato.
The potato is very popular in his district in Minnesota. Yeah. So, yes, he might endorse him. Yeah, there's all this talk from Trump what he's going to do on day one. He's going to be a dictator for one day. He's going to deport all these people. Yeah. How about you do that stuff on day two?
Yeah.
And on day one, you go through all 50 states and you roll back the gas at least $1. I want to see another $1 a month later. I understand that it might be hard to, kick $4 off the top right away.
Permission to be a dictator for 2 days. You can do the 2-day plan. I'll even go 3 and the weekend. But yeah, get this shit taken care of. Fine, whatever. If that's a campaign promise and you keep it, that's good on you.
You're right. Exactly. So one more clip from Katie Britt. I could have really dragged this out, but during her response, she tells this story about a woman who had been sex trafficked, and she used it to illustrate the problem at the border. I'm not arguing that isn't an important point, but she really kind of bent the truth about this woman who is actually an activist, and she was speaking at a hearing. She didn't pull her aside and said, Katie, I want to tell you a story.
Right.
I've seen an interview with this woman. She doesn't speak English. So already there's a problem with the story. She was trafficked about 20 years ago. Also terrible. I'm not saying that. But so the point is she bent the truth here, but I feel like Katie Britt's a pro. She should be able to talk her way out of being confronted on Fox News Sunday, by the way. Kind of friendly turf.
Sure. Be clear, the story that you relayed is not something that's happened under the Biden administration, that particular person.
Well, I very clearly said I spoke to a woman who told me about when she was trafficked when she was 12. So I didn't say a teenager. I didn't say a young woman, a grown woman, a woman when she was trafficked when she was 12. And so listening to her story, she is a victim's right advocate who is telling this is what drug cartels are doing. This is how they're profiting off of women. And it is disgusting. And so I am hopeful that it brings some light to it, and we can actually do something about human trafficking, and that's what.
Okay. So yeah, and by the way, it happened on the Mexican side of the border, and she was trafficked by a pimp, not a cartel.
It was like it was in like Mexico City or Guadalajara or some shit. And I like how after she tries to like thread the needle there on that deal, She then dips into community theater mode with the disgusting. And it's like to try to divert. I mean, anybody with half a brain would know that her whole argument is completely shot.
Yeah, and I mean, she's like, I said I spoke to a woman who was trafficked when she was 12. Look, you're the senator from Alabama. We were under the impression there would be no math. Okay,
right?
Don't expect us to subtract 20 or add 20 or whatever you need to do. All right. Very quickly, a little bit more on politics. Super Tuesday feels like a lifetime ago. And I've got two really quick one-on-one person on the street reaction for whether or not people would have ever voted for Nikki Haley.
And I wouldn't vote for a woman, and especially, Nikki Haley. I'm just going to say this. She's probably menopausal. We don't need that.
Hey, she said, how about we vote for people regardless of their gender, just the right person for the job for America?
Now, what I like about that is the guy. This is Fox News. I'm just being upfront about what outlet this is for our audio audience. He basically says the exact opposite of what that lady just said. Well, I guess what she's saying is no. That's not what she said. She said she would never vote for a woman because they get
Excuse me.
menopausal.
That is great, but she's right because my wife's going through that right now, and god damn.
So you're saying you would never vote for Mrs. Zane?
I would say that women who are menopausal are fucking crazy. She's 100% right. She knows. She speaks from experience. She's like, God damn, man. When I was going through it, I had 3 dicks in me, and I was trying to eat the dog. God damn.
Somebody get a drop of Eric saying I had 3. Well, you know what? I don't want to say it because I don't want a drop of me saying
That's
it.
okay. Right. I want more drops. Hi. Hello, I'm Eric Zane, and I've had 3 dicks in my ass.
Perfect. I left space for that to be easily trimmed. All right, one more thought on Nikki Haley, who is no longer with us. I mean, she's still alive, but she finally got out of the race.
Haley, did you ever consider her?
What I got to say, you don't really want to put it on.
Let me hear it.
Well, a woman's not going to be a good president. She don't have no balls to scratch. She's just going to scratch her head. All a woman's good for in my book is having babies and taking care of the house, but that's the old thing, but I'm old school.
So you never even considered her?
No.
Mainly because she's a woman?
Because she's female. I mean, females, don't take me wrong, females know what they're doing, but they still got to have a little bit of guidance. Trump would be the one to guide her through the
Trump would be the one to guide her.
My man. That is
look,
fucking nuts.
Brother's talking some sense right there. Okay. That's all that's all we're trying to say. All right. Now look, I know a lot of these clips have seemed one-sided. I'm going to make it up to you in the next episode, but I also have this, which I'm going to file under the category of this is why they're going to lose. And I might say this about either party. This is the host on MSNBC laughing about the concerns of Virginia voters. And here they go.
Some of these exit polls, I mean, I live in Virginia. Immigration was the #1 issue. I mean, again, these could change in Virginia.
Well, Virginia does have a border with West Virginia. Very contested area.
Build a wall. Like, what?
Oh, Rachel, you're a card.
Holy shit.
So you're not allowed to be worried.
Yeah,
is what I think they're trying to say.
I'm guessing viewership is low in that neck of the woods.
And you think that all-female panel covering Super Tuesday?
Yes.
Yeah. You think that either of those clips that we showed a moment ago are tuning in for that?
Christian, I have a couple of super chats before we
Please
move on.
Let's get caught up. Absolutely.
Matthew writes and he sent $5 our way. Very kind of you, Matthew. Every time I open a WATB live stream and I don't see Karl, the disappointment just kills me. Well, that must be a lot because I think Karl's been on 2 shows, maybe.
Well, he was on the first few, but it's been a little while. But
yeah.
I will tell you, you're not going to see Karl live on this episode, but in just a couple minutes, you are going to get a visit from Hamburger. All right. So
very good.
Be patient. That's what's going to happen. And go ahead there.
Rent optional writes, Trump being seen as a friend of the common man is the most laughable thing these wacko Republicans believe. Both these dudes are too old, but come on. That's not really a Christian sign off. I understand you really want us to see it, and that's a great way to do it. You can either pay for it or be funny. But again, this is if you want to have Christian sign off with something that's just ridiculous, by all means, that is the way to do it. This leader, though, for $10 Canadian, Yankees suck, writes, I'm Christian Bladt, and all a woman's good for is having babies and taking care of the house.
Now, that sounds like somebody who just enjoys the Blattcast, Bladtcast, because I believe you could have put quotes around that. I say that most days, Eric. As I think you know.
Yep, definitely.
Yeah, I think we all know that. All right. Well, I think we gotta lighten the mood a little bit. All right. We've talked a lot of politics, and I know that not everybody enjoys the lengthy politics conversation here on the show. So what I want to do is take a quick diversion on a little segment that we don't usually do on this show, but we have done once before. Because it's the only way to classify this clip that I have, Eric, is a cringe of the week. And no, it's not the beginning of this episode, but stay tuned. Maybe you'll get to see that soon. This is an interaction that Madonna had with a fan at one of her concerts. You'll be able to hear her, and she doesn't point out the most important part, but let's see what happens when she interacts with the crowd.
Turn on your mic. I'm not seeing anything. What just happened?
Yeah. So the gentleman. Well, we didn't actually get the clip, did we?
No, sir.
We got neither of the clips.
Oh, negative.
Oh my gosh!
I was like, what the fuck is going on?
We got to put some editing in here. That was what I wanted to do. So this in and of itself becomes a cringe of the week.
Oh my God.
I'm spinning a lot of plates today, Eric.
This is goddamn Inception. What just happened?
Cringe of the week.
So what I wanted to share with you is what's going to happen in a moment. Madonna at one of her concerts interacting with a fan.
Check this right with me. What are you doing sitting down over there? What are you doing sitting down? Oh, okay. Politically incorrect. Sorry about that. I'm glad you're here.
So it's not explicitly said by Madge, but the gentleman she said, "Why are you sitting down?" was in a wheelchair. And this isn't the first time that I've seen a clip like this. There was one of Kanye a few years ago. There have been some others. If someone's sitting down, you should probably walk over and make sure that they have the option to stand.
Oh yeah. That's I've been part of this exact moment.
Really?
Okay. I'll make this brief.
Yeah, please.
Radio. I was in New Jersey, radio, and the morning guy that I'm doing with had a history of putting his fucking foot in his mouth. We're giving away like a truck, and it's a drawing, and there's two people remaining. And one is standing to his right. The other one is a chick in a wheelchair to his left. And he goes, all right, we're down to the final two. One of you is going to walk out of here with the big prize. And then he draws it, and it's not her. So the guy who actually can walk wins. And I go, dude, you just fucking... And then I told him, and he goes, oh, my God, Jesus Christ. I can't... Chick's crying. She didn't win, and no, she can't walk. Oh, God damn it. So I love when this happens.
The only thing missing from that story is a video. I feel like if it had happened a few years later, somebody would have been filming it from the promotions team or something. I would love to see that moment.
We cannot ignore as the clips were supposed to be being played. The comment: "Dead air rocks."
Look,
dead air. Hello,
Zima drinker.
Yay!
Look, I'm batting 1,000. I was literally about to say that. I am batting 1,000. Yeah,
and better than Cry.
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong to wire Christian, and Well, that's all right, because I'm going to take the spotlight off of me, and we are going to spend a couple minutes shining it on our friend Karl in a segment that I can only clunkily call Who Are These Podcasts?
Who are these podcasts? WATP.
So, are you aware of the big goings on this weekend up in Rochester, Eric? The happenings at the Carlson comedy at the Carlson.
I remember when this all started because John was involved, correct?
Yeah, way back then, yes.
Yeah, and it's been changed many times since then. I remember that this is a brainchild of one Vinny Paulino, who does an excellent job over there. I'm assuming he's still there. So yeah, I think I have heard about it. It sounds like a good time.
Yeah, and so they did, instead of having John, they did a live subreddit surfing, and our buddy Trucker Andy did a live All Apologies podcast. And as part of losing a consequence for the creep off, our buddy Karl had to perform stand-up comedy. And the potato was determined to stack the deck against him to make sure that he bombed. I'm going to pat myself on the back just a little bit. I did help out the potato, although I'm still furious that he trashed my jokes. Only a little bit of what I wrote made it. But there is a word that Karl says repeatedly that made it into this set. And I know you haven't seen this. A lot of people have seen it. But I'm so excited for you to see about a minute of what Karl was doing. And maybe you'll appreciate the genius of the potato.
Speaking of football, how about a round of applause to the Kansas City Chiefs for winning the Super Bowl? I'm so happy for Tay-Tay. But you know me, I just love a good love story.
I did write that one.
How about those 49ers? Though they really looked like Stuttering John's kids during the Super Bowl. Hey, hamburger. What's the difference between a Bills fan and a baby? The baby will stop whining after a while. Hey, hamburger. That's enough about football. Let's talk about something I know a lot about: gay dudes and teeth. What do you call a gay dentist? A tooth fairy. Hey, hamburger. Now I'm getting into the ones I think Cardiff actually wrote. Why did Katie Holmes divorce Tom Cruise? Because she saw him in A Few Good Men. Hey,
very timely.
I feel sorry for Catholic gays this time of year. No meat on Fridays must suck for them. Not me, though. I'm a dick-sucking atheist.
So the whole set's about 6 minutes, but that's, I think, a pertinent snippet. Easy, I would like your thoughts on that.
Okay, so he went into it knowing he's going to be reading someone else's jokes, right? That's what the idea was. It wasn't like they said, all right, go do your best stand-up. Like he actually would prepare. He didn't have to memorize anything. He doesn't have to get it down.
Yeah.
Well, then that's perfect. This all works out. I can't sit there and be critical knowing that he's going into this, that he's gonna he's gonna bomb.
For our audio audience who maybe hasn't heard this already, he's holding paper on the stage. Those are jokes that Cardiff wrote. Couple things I wrote, mostly hamburger. I got two more quick ones that actually legitimately made me laugh out loud, and I can't wait to see you react to these, Eric.
Okay, good.
How do you get a nun pregnant? You come in her cunt. Hamburger. I want to thank my mom for being here, my dad.
Carl's parents were there.
Oh no! Oh fuck! See, the thing is, I was wincing when he was saying it, but I legitimately find fucking Karl funny. Like I find him funny. He's a funny dude to begin with. So I laugh at that shit more than a lot of the other shit that we've reviewed on the show of people who've been actually doing comedy. But I find Karl to be funny.
I do too, and I think he did a great job, and he's able to get laughs. And the final joke from the set, and you can definitely find video, audio. It's out there if people want to enjoy all 6 minutes. But I want to leave it with this one.
I was recently arrested after an Isotopes gig. Allegedly, I was fingering a minor. While I was being arrested, the cop read me my rights and said anything I say can and will be held against me, so I yelled, "Cox! Ham!
You see, now I'm laughing harder at the jokes. I'm getting warmed up. I'm starting to get in the mood. He's moving me up. He's fingering
You might enjoy
my
all
ass.
6 minutes, Eric.
Now I'm starting to fight. I'm getting punchy on this whole goddamn thing.
Yeah. So it looked like a tremendous evening in Rochester. And obviously, if people missed out on that, but they still want to have fun, don't forget that the WATP ROTC live in Clearwater, Florida, March 22nd. Tickets at WATPlive.com, whoathese.com, patreon.com, Who Are These Podcasts. See, look at that.
All right. Love it.
We worked that in there. All right. So State of the Union was a big deal, but that's basically the Academy Awards of politics. I do want to spend a little bit of time on the actual Academy Awards. And I thought that the thing to do would be to initially I was going to save the last award of the night and have that be towards the end of the show, but it's just too damn funny to not start off with. This is Al Pacino opening the envelope for the winner for Best Picture.
And may I see Oppenheimer?
Keep listening.
Yes, Emma Thomas, Charles
You can hear him. What happened?
Oh.
My eyes see Oppenheimer.
Okay, so this is all types of fucked up. There's a lot of reasons for that. I mean, this made Jimmy Kimmel have to come up with 10 minutes of material because, in case you don't know, you're supposed to go over the list of all the nominees.
Yeah.
They play the little clip. This takes time. This is the fucking Best Picture. This is a coveted award. It's the climax of the whole goddamn TV show.
So the band wasn't ready to play.
No.
They weren't ready to play. The announcer, David Allen Greer, saying like, this is, giving you facts about it. So yeah, he opened it and he's like, when he starts reading, he thinks those are the actors, or I don't know. He's like, I'm reading Oppenheimer. So I think he thought he was going to, and imagine if he read all 10 nominees, by the way.
God, what is it about? How many times have we seen climactic moments like this get fucked up? I think we've seen this on the Oscars before, where there was
Warren
a gap.
Beatty. Yeah, he said Moonlight instead of La La Land, and
that is
Jimmy Kimmel made a joke before this because the award beforehand was given out to Emma Stone. He's like, all right, now let's rip up that envelope. The point being, so that we don't mix it up like we did a few years ago. And then here comes Al. Here comes sleepy Al Pacino.
Yeah. Now, I mean, I think that what they need to do is, because they have meetings about this. Why would you let an old fucking withered man do this? You're supposed to let those people run the goddamn country.
Right. Thank you. I'm glad finally talking some sense. But I also feel like what you should probably do. It's like, yeah, let's honor Al Pacino, but let's have him read, I don't know, best adapted foreign screenplay or something. I mean, it's fine, but have somebody at least, I don't know, under 70 read the best picture so that you don't run into these problems.
This is a young man's game. Okay.
Yeah.
Even you and I, we have no business being here. I mean, it's only a matter of time till Karl kicks us out because we're too goddamn old.
Yeah. And, and although I know Karl appreciates all the dead air that we've had in this show. And for once, none of it's your fault, I
was so scared when that happened, man. I was like, oh, no, I did it again.
Well, at least the Oscars is the opportunity for the best and brightest to really shine on an international stage. People watch this around the world. And obviously, there's months to prepare. And there's tightly written comedy bits, and all the presenters are, when they're funny people, they can only deliver.
Or maintains its individual characteristics. It's kind of like us, right? I mean, we do our own things. We also do our things together. We're like the Chippendale of showbiz, right? Chippendale. Yeah. I don't see us as the lycra pant pelvic thrust types. Well, speak for yourself, but what are you talking about? I said Chippendale. You said Chippendales. No, I'm saying, I'm saying Chippendale. Chip in, comma, Dale, and you're saying Chippendales. Oh, because I thought you were saying Chippendales. Chippendales. Well, usually I am saying Chippendales, but not now.
It was pretty great, right? So Melissa McCarthy, Octavia Spencer, obviously just a couple of gals having some fun on the big stage. There's years where there are award shows where every presentation is like that. That was kind of just the absolute low point. Can I make it up to you and show you a fun one? Eric, I assume you didn't watch the Academy Awards, by the way.
Of course not. All I know is Oppenheimer won. John Cena took off his clothes.
We'll get there.
And Al Pacino fucked that shit up.
Yeah.
What? Quick note about what we just saw.
Yeah.
If you think about it, though, you've got a room full of writers that came up with the concept.
Yep.
Actually wrote it out, and then others had to sign off on that. This is not a fast process. This takes time. Okay.
Yeah.
All of that. That's what's so goddamn annoying. All right. That all of that, they had to put all that work into something with zero payoff.
Zero payoff. There's absolutely no payoff. And the idea that anyone, even if the two of them hatched it right before they walked out, that they're like, oh yeah, we'll do a Chippendale thing. And that's going to kill. Yeah. Those aren't real commenting comedy by committee. And Silent Shape, you guys watch garbage, so I don't have to.
Oh yeah,
yes,
it's a horrible existence. This is a horrible career we've chosen.
It sure is. Oh. But look, I sprinkle in a couple that'll at least make us smile. And here's an award presented by Arnold Schwarzenegger and Danny DeVito.
We both tried to kill Batman.
Yeah. Well, we both tried. I as the Penguin in Batman Returns.
And I was Mr. Freeze in Batman and Robin.
How did Batman beat you?
Oh, he used my one weakness against me.
A horse face housekeeper. We're both thinking the same thing, weren't we?
She goes pussy. He goes pussy on me. I fucked the pussy, Danny.
Love.
Oh. No, it was love. So we were
threw me out a window. Yeah, really. Yeah, he's really.
Batman, that son of a bitch.
Where is he?
Yeah.
He's here.
I hate him.
There he is. He's right here.
Close up on Keaton, giving the stone Batman face.
You have a lot of nerve to show your face.
You got,
son of a bitch.
You are a real beat breaker.
Any gestures for that? I look, showbiz is usually very dreary and not that entertaining. But Michael Keaton seems like he's got a good sense of humor. You know?
I like the bit. That was clever. I like if Arnold saying "son of a bitch." It's great. And Arnold,
son of a bitch.
If you notice his posture, he's getting a lot of Fred Sanford. I mean, he's kind of like he has a weird type of presence to him when he's standing there. I'm picturing him, it's a big one. It's just really weird to me.
Dwyer Christian commenting that Danny DeVito's wife, Rhea Perlman, is hotter than Arnold's whore. I mean,
didn't they break up? I thought they broke up.
I don't know, but he did have a kid with that housekeeper. A kid who looks exactly like him, by the way. So,
yeah, I know.
Yeah. All right. So look, I wanted to share a fun moment. And one of the reasons why the awards were a little bit more watchable. Now, I know you didn't watch, but Eric, when you live in Los Angeles, it's actually required that myself, my family, we all had to dress up. We had to roll out a red carpet to the TV. We had to stop and take, it's the whole thing. We have to do it or we get deported.
Right.
So we had to watch, and again, I watched, so no one else had to, including you. And there's one moment that I wanted to find as I look for it. Yes. So I played the bad one and you referenced it. Here it is. So we have John Cena comes out. And it was in reference to, I think it was the 1974 Oscars. A streaker came out when David Niven was presenting an award. And that'll tell you, kids, what a crazy time the 70s were. You could get right past security, buck naked,
Right.
and run out on stage on a network TV show. So here we go. So he's going to do a bit with John Cena. And, he's like, if only somebody naked ran out on this stage. And the bit here is that John Cena kind of got cold feet.
Changed my mind. I don't want to do the streaker bit anymore. What do you mean you don't want to do the streaker bit anymore? We're doing it. I just don't feel right about it, man. It's an elegant event. Honestly, you should feel shame right now for suggesting such a tasteless idea. It's supposed to be funny. The male body is not a joke. Mine is. No, it's not. You wrestle naked. Why not? Dude, I don't wrestle naked. I wrestle in jorts. Jorts are worse than naked.
It's a decent line. I think that was the thing that actually made me laugh.
You're really not going to do this? Fine, just give out the award then. God, the worst.
So, for our audio audience, I think a lot of people have at least seen an image of this. He comes out holding the envelope, covering his, little Cena, and everybody kind of react. Big laughs. And, obviously John Cena has been seen in only a little bit more than this on screen many times. It's a good bit. He seems to have a great sense of humor. John Cena, it's fine. He comes out. He's just like, yeah, look at all this, everybody. What are your
Clammed
thoughts?
up. You froze up.
Did I?
And then you, like mid-word, you stopped.
Okay. That one wasn't my fault. That was my shitty internet. Am I back now? Oh, no. So which one of us is here? Is it me or is it Eric? That's the real question. And yeah, Troy Smith, this is going great. I thought it was me, but it was Eric. Dwyer Christian, I'm there. Frozen Air. So that wasn't on me. Boy. So I had the first couple mistakes. And then this one, principled uncertainty. So, Eric, I think this time it actually wasn't me.
No,
I think it was your internet.
My internet cut out.
I actually switched my internet. I have a backup, and I'm like, nope, it wasn't me.
Nope. I was actually going to start talking about the bit, and then everything went haywire. So I was like, oh no. So
is SJ running the board today, boys? He absolutely is. Dwyer Christian, obviously, easy rescued us from it turning into the Bladt show. I would have done what I could. And legitimately, we had people helping. Tommy getting made. He's like, no, Christian, you're good. Eric is messed up. I stopped talking because I thought it was me.
Yep. I during all of that, I saw Spinning Wheel of Death where our faces were. And all the while I'm going, oh boy, sure hope, I'm just filling time, wondering what to do. I didn't want to hit end stream because that would
thank you for not doing that this time.
So I just left the studio. My internet stopped throwing up on me, and I'm back.
Well, we were closer to the end this time, where if we had ended the stream, I just would have jumped in the chat and been like, good night, everybody. So we got to see the John Cena bit, right?
Correct.
Enough of it. We saw him come out that he was naked.
And the only thing I wanted to say about that before it cut off is, did they establish that there was a streaker in 1974 before all of that? They
showed the clip.
Okay.
They showed the clip, and I was trying to trim the fat, as it were, and just get to the meat of it.
Okay.
But yeah, Yankees Suck again says, update your Chrome. It might be a faulty Google Chrome. That's a great point. All right. So a lot of people know about that incident on the stage that Cena comes out. And he is mostly nude. And are you aware of the conspiracy theory that has built up around that appearance by John Cena, Eric?
No,
or are you
not
hearing
a bit of it.
different?
Not a bit of it.
Well, if there's anybody who can learn you on it, it's Andrew Tate.
Clear. I was saying this morning on Twitter how John Cena yesterday at the Oscars was doing his humiliation ritual to satisfy his gay paymasters. And everybody's saying, oh, maybe he's just promoting a movie. Maybe. Let me tell you something. I don't care what movie I'm in. You could not convince me to do that. You could not convince me to do anything fruity or weird. It doesn't matter what movie I'm in because there's no need. I can promote it other ways. I won't do it because my principles are too strong. So to say he's only promoting a movie is still agreeing with me. You're saying he's promoting his movie for money because he sold a soul to his gay paymaster.
Well, he was pretending to be an OnlyFans guy as the character of the movie and releasing OnlyFans content.
I don't know what the hell accent do the Tate brothers have? Are they from South Africa?
know.
I'm just listening to them and it's like needles in my eardrums.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that is a theory, and it is supported by some people that I follow on Twitter that are like, no, this is definitely a humiliation ritual.
So,
and Eric, I think it would be humiliating if you or I had to go out and do that. You know, if it was like, if I have to walk out on stage like that, John Cena, obviously he's loving that.
Yeah.
If I looked like John Cena, I would never wear clothes.
How often would people, I mean, if you're that commanding that much attention, I mean, the guy is an absolute specimen. He's built like a brick shithouse. Every woman there wanted to have sex with him. Of course, that's a good thing. And he's just acting like he's not liking it. He was loving it. His dick was probably stiff the whole time.
By the way, it's not just every woman in the room there. It's, like 80% of that room would definitely enjoy some time with Cena. So they're from England. That doesn't sound like a British accent. I appreciate the explanation, Jared. I just didn't realize that. And Dwyer Christian points out that, I can't wait to get to that one. Tate did a professional photo shoot with a dog topless.
Right.
Yeah, but he did that by choice. And I'm just like, I understand the idea that this could be something, this is what Cat Williams talked about. And that's kind of what everybody's saying. He's saying like, oh yeah, this is a humiliation ritual you have to go through. But I don't think this is that. I think it's just a goofy Oscar bit. John Cena has a tremendous sense of humor. His superhero show Peacemaker is way funnier than it has any business being. I didn't really know much about him as a wrestler. But he's a funny guy and he seems like a good sport. And the last thing he is from that clip is humiliated. That's
right on.
That's my stance.
Agreed.
But
Agreed.
If you would like to see something humiliating for John Cena, let's go to our great moments in broadcasting history.
Flashback.
WATB.
Way back into time.
Let's find out who are these broadcast histories.
So we got to go back a few years when John Cena was promoting Fast and Furious Part 9. And he, in doing, you do hundreds of interviews when you're promoting a big movie like that. And he made the mistake of referring to Taiwan as a country. And he did what I think is humiliating. This is a humiliation video. He is begging for forgiveness from the Chinese. I will have to read it for our audio audience because either it was written out phonetically or son of a bitch knows Chinese, Mandarin. I don't know which one, but let's take a look. I made a mistake. I have to say right now, it is so important. I love and respect China and the Chinese people. I'm so sorry for my mistake. I'm sorry. You have to understand. I love and respect China and Chinese people. I'm sorry.
Oh no,
Eric, that's humiliating.
He should have just said "fuck you," get over it. Yeah. You're going to forget about it anyway.
Well, I'm sure there was a lot of pressure.
He should have done it while he was doing this too. This is bullshit. The fact, and I will say this, though, the ability, even if they did write it out phonetically, that still sounds very difficult to do. God damn, that is incredible what
So I feel like he must know Mandarin or something, because that's a few years ago. That's not AI. It's nothing like that. That was pretty impressive, and it's also ridiculously humiliating.
Oh God, that is so bad.
Well, that was our dress rehearsal for our new episode of Who Are These Broadcasters? Hopefully we get it right in the live show. Thanks for hanging in with us. Eric, Zane, and I are new to this broadcasting bit. You can't expect us to. No. This is like our first try.
Don't you dare lump me in with forgetting to turn the mic on. I did nothing.
That's true.
Not my fault the internet goes bonkers.
Your technology failed you. I failed my technology.
Yes.
So that is a big difference. You're absolutely right. Well, if you want more of us, you're absolutely in luck, because we're going to be back tomorrow at the same time, noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. We're going to pre-record next week's show, but we realized that if we pre-record it, I can't beg for super chats. And my kids and Eric's family, we need that $38 split 3 ways. So we're going to do the show live, and then it'll be posted later. So please join us for that. Until tomorrow, though, Eric, where can people find you?
Well, there's several ways, and I don't like to focus on all of them when I do this. So let me just say that I do a daily podcast. It's free. Wherever you download shows. So just search Eric Zane Show or Eric Zane Show Podcast. There I am. And enjoy it. And you'll figure the rest out as you listen.
My podcast, The Blackcast, our latest episode, I spent the whole show talking about the Academy Awards and the nominated films with my buddy Christian Toto from Hollywood and Toto. And also last week, we did finally do our Leprechaun episode with Lucy Typox and Husey. So please check that out. BLADTCAST. That's where you can find the podcast. Eric, I think we've done enough damage today. So why don't we get out of here? And until tomorrow, I will say that this is Christian Bladt reminding you that every mic is a hot mic. And my name is Christian Bladt. And I'd like to tell all my peers, I love queers in my rear. Considering the town I live in, that's probably going to help me. See you tomorrow, everybody.